Thank you for joining us for this look at some of the best stories from KPBS News this week. I'm John Carroll. Coming up, better outcomes in San Diego's public schools. See the numbers that show a steady increase in preparing high school graduates for college and jobs. The federal government shutdown is now in its second week. Hear how it's weighing on security workers at San Diego International Airport. And a place to play. Community members tell us about plans to open Jacumba's first soccer field. We start with California's Attorney General suing the city of El Cajon. The city is accused of illegally sharing license plate surveillance data outside of the state. An investigation by KPBS reporter Gustavo Solis shows how far the sharing has gone.
A KPBS investigation revealed that data collected by the El Cajon Police Department was included in nationwide immigration-related searches. Now, that shouldn't happen under California sanctuary laws, but we found more than 550 immigration-related searches so far this year. Our investigation shows how police departments from states as far away as Texas, Virginia, and South Carolina routinely tap El Cajon's surveillance data for immigration-related searches, in some cases on behalf of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Earlier this week, Attorney General Rob Bonta sued El Cajon, arguing that state law forbids local police departments from sharing this data with agencies outside of California.
The whole point of the restrictions on sharing is that once it's shared with any entity out of the state of California, you lose control.
But Bonta could not definitively say whether El Cajon's data was used specifically for immigration enforcement.
I don't believe that we know that, but it is naive to not flag that risk. That's the whole point that that's why the law was passed.
But we can. Our analysis shows that police departments outside of California routinely use search terms like immigration, immigration enforcement, immigration violation, and ICE. Dave Moss is the Director of Investigations at the Electronic Frontier Foundation.
It's pretty significant. In California, it violates multiple laws to use the system to not only for immigration, but to allow an external and out-of-state entity to access your data. So we're talking about multiple laws that might have been violated in this process.
That foundation shared a data set with KPBS that helped us discover these immigration-related searches. Here's how I explained the analysis to a group of immigrant rights activists from El Cajon that we invited to KPBS. Now, as we've talked about before, Mayrene, right, the El Cajon Police Department is unique in San Diego County. It is the only local police department that shares their flock system with out-of-state agencies. We filed a public records request asking for an audit of who is looking through El Cajon's data and why. It has a lot of useful information. It has the individual officer, the department, the date, and the time down to the second. Now, this is important. This is kind of how we found our information. But El Cajon's data did not include the reason for each search. So we found a workaround by comparing it to data that we got from the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And in their network audit, they did include the reason right here. Right? Wow. All we had to do was match the timestamps on both data sets. For example, an officer named T. Lip from the Nags Head Police Department in South Carolina conducted a nationwide search for immigration on April 30th, exactly at 1:55 p.m. and 18 seconds. Let's see if that search appears on El Cajon's data. April 30th. What did we say? 1:55:18?
Yeah, 1:55. There it is, 1:55:18. Holy sh!
Mayrene Branham was one of the people we shared our analysis with. She's with the group Latinos en Acción, which has protested El Cajon's support for Trump's immigration policies.
It is very important that we're uncovering this data, how it works, who's involved, how many cameras, how is the city cooperating, are they not cooperating? And it just brings up a whole slew of other questions that I think, it's our job to let the residents know.
KPBS also shared our analysis with El Cajon Police Chief Jeremiah Larson and invited him to review the data. He declined. In a previous interview, Larson said the police department performs regular audits to its license plate reader program.
We do regular audits and, we have a lieutenant that oversees the program and makes sure that, when people are using it, they're using it for the right purposes and legitimate reasons.
Later, in an email, Larson suggested that the audits only include internal searches performed by El Cajon police officers, not the external searches done by outside agencies. Mas says the people of El Cajon should be concerned about this lack of basic oversight.
So it's not surprising to hear, but it should anger everyone to hear them say it out loud.
He says Chief Larson's decision not to include external audits show that the police department cannot be trusted with this technology.
If you have decided that you don't have to monitor that stuff, then you shouldn't have access to this system at all. Like, you have just proven that you don't have the cybersecurity chops at the very basic fundamental level to be trusted with data for your community.
It's unclear if the El Cajon Police Department knew about these immigration-related searches. Chief Larson didn't say whether the department plans to change the data sharing policy. In response to the Attorney General's lawsuit, El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells defended the practice, calling it a cornerstone of effective policing. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.
Gustavo Solis covers issues relating to immigration and the border. He was a guest on KPBS Midday Edition this week, talking more about this story. You can find more of his work at kpbs.org and on the KPBS YouTube page. The future of San Diego County's largest community garden is in limbo. KPBS environment reporter Tammy Murga says gardeners are asking county leaders to help keep it open.
On a recent morning at the Tijuana River Community Garden, Ed Whited picks leftover tomatoes and squash from his summer crop.
Again, these are past their prime, but these are the Jersey Devil tomatoes. They kind of look like a big red pepper.
He had been thinking about his winter crops. Now, he doesn't know if he'll have a garden to plant them in. The county and city of San Diego recently posted warning signs in the Tijuana River Valley. They caution the public that toxic gases and chemicals have been detected there. One of the signs is at the entrance of the garden. Whited thinks that's why the Resource Conservation District of Greater San Diego has decided to evict gardeners.
I think they've looked at this with all the recent publicity and said, we have a liability here. We are worried that somebody will say they are hurt or negatively impacted that.
The Navy veteran earns money selling crops at local farm stands. For the last 8 years, he's also made friends and memories with his grandchildren.
My granddaughter, it was a rainy day. It was, one of those rare winter rainy days. It was beautiful, nice and cool. We'd come out here and we'd pick for a while, and then to start raining, we'd go in the shed and sit out and talk for a while. Good memories.
He's not ready to stop planting there.
They've told us we have 60 days.
Brian Rivera also leases a plot in the garden. The Resource Conservation District rents the land from the county. It has managed the garden for 23 years. Late last month, they told Whited, Rivera, and other gardeners the decision to close is
due to pollution that surrounds us. Since we are in Tijuana River Valley, just a mile away, we do have the river. There is a crisis going on.
In an email to KPBS, the district said the known and unknown health risks of the sewage crisis were, quote, the primary factors that contributed to the difficult decision. About 2 miles from the garden is a sewage hotspot. New data released in August showed that area is the largest source of the toxic sewer gas, hydrogen sulfide. Researchers say it's in the air residents are breathing. Not enough is known about the long-term effects of exposure to hydrogen sulfide.
Gardeners and farmers recognize the potential health concerns in the valley, yet they firmly believe that the benefits of this space far outweigh the risk.
Arely Perez works with the Resource Conservation District. She told the Board of Supervisors losing the garden would devastate the community.
We are calling on the County of San Diego to step in and ensure the garden's future.
Rivera says in the year and a half he's grown in the garden,
we have not had an incident where someone comes and, hey, I got sick from your produce.
He says many depend on the botanical herbs and fruit he grows and sells.
This is our herbal garden. You could call this the CVS pharmacy. We always joke around. People come here like, hey, I need something from your pharmacy.
Rivera runs the business with his wife. It's called Abriendo Caminos, Spanish for opening paths.
Oh, you can walk through my garden. Like, I smell chamomile. I smell lemon balm. I smell valerian root. I smell mugwort. I smell rue. So many great things. This place doesn't just benefit us, the humans. It benefits all the bioflora.
With eviction looming, Rivera is unsure of his next steps. He says gardeners are scrambling to find a backup garden.
We've sat together and none of us have found something. It's nearly impossible.
A county spokesperson said the county is, quote, still assessing this property's future use. Supervisor Paloma Aguirre told gardeners in a social media post,
we're going to be meeting with some of the farmers and gardeners in the next few days. I just want you to know that I hear you, I see you, I'm going to fight for you, we're going to figure this out together. I stand with you.
The district is offering plots at its Sweetwater Community Garden in Bonita. But Whitehead says plots and amenities are limited there. He wants gardeners to sign waivers to be able to stay at the Tijuana River Garden. And he hopes another agency can step up to manage it.
I don't know what the right answer is going to be. All I know is, like I was told when I was deployed, the first answer is never the right answer.
Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
The number of students graduating from San Diego Unified, prepared for college or a career, is at an 8-year high. KPBS education reporter Katie Anastas says the district sees an opportunity to build on that growth.
New data shows 67% of students graduated from San Diego Unified last year prepared for college or a career. That number has been steadily climbing over the last several years. By 2030, the district's goal is nearly 72%. The district says 3 things are driving improvement. The first is that more students are getting college credit while they're in high school. Superintendent Fabiola Bagula says teachers and counselors are empowering students.
Encouraging students to make sure that they push themselves for more rigorous coursework is really important. And that includes not only AP and IB, but I'm also going to say community college courses that are on our sites.
The second is that more students are meeting state college admissions requirements. The third is an increase in students earning an award for fluency in a second language. Bagula says the district is expanding its high school language opportunities.
We have, for example, really beautiful traditional dual language schools like Language Academy and Longfellow, but what we didn't have was the continuation on into high school.
Another way students can prepare for their future is by completing a college career and technical education pathway. They offer coursework specific to certain industries, from agriculture and construction to health science and hospitality. The number of students completing career pathways went slightly down last year. Bagula says she wants families to understand that the program doesn't limit students' options for the future.
A career pathway doesn't necessarily mean that this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, but it actually teaches you and exposes you to a really beautiful skill set of real-world career.
The San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts offers a pathway in arts, media, and entertainment. Alea Nayland is studying musical theater there, but she doesn't plan to spend the rest of her career on stage.
My plans after graduating are attending university and majoring in journalism or education.
SCPA has one of the highest career technical education completion rates in the district. Timothy Farson is the school's principal. He says they work with universities and conservatories to figure out how best to prepare students for the future.
And the conversations around exploration begin in the 6th grade and are nurtured all the way through.
The district is looking to replicate those conversations at other schools. It's hired instructional coordinators to help students complete career pathways. District leaders say the new staff will find internship opportunities, monitor students' progress, and help plan out their classes. Katie Anastas, KPBS News.
We want to let you know about our first author event for the 2025 One Book, One San Diego campaign. On October 21st, KPBS will hold a Q&A with National Book Award-winning author James McBride. It's happening at the Belly Up Tavern in Solana Beach, and it's free. You'll need to register in advance, though. We have more details on the event and this year's One Book selections at kpbs.org. Sign up for our newsletters for a list of our most popular stories. Here are some from this week. Another immigrant dies in ICE custody in California, this time in the Imperial Valley. A San Diego City Council member floats a new tax on vacation homes. And the KPBS Public Matters team looks at how San Diegans are putting life on hold in uncertain times. TSA agents are among the thousands of federal workers dealing with uncertainty right now. They're working without pay during the government shutdown, now in its second week. Jacumba talked with a local TSA union leader.
Going through security is routine for airline passengers. Agents from the Transportation Security Administration check IDs and check baggage for thousands of travelers every day at the San Diego International Airport. For now, local agents are still doing that job despite the government shutdown.
I'm disappointed that they can't get their act together. It's very frustrating because we feel like we're pawns in this whole thing.
Robert Mack is a lead TSA officer at the airport. He's also chief steward for the local chapter of the union representing TSA workers.
Right now, morale is still pretty good. We're coming to work. We're working hard. We've actually gotten a lot of support from the passengers coming through, saying, we appreciate you coming into work in this situation.
He's worked at the airport for over 20 years and vividly remembers the last government shutdown that started just before Christmas 2018 and lasted 35 days.
It was kind of rough, tell you the truth. We went over a month without pay. People were having to make decisions that they didn't want to make, whether putting gas in their car or food in their belly.
Melissa Upgren flew into the airport today from Minnesota with some friends. So far, she says it's been smooth sailing.
It was remarkably normal. We went through security without any issue. We flew off, took off on time. So from our perspective, people are still we're grateful for showing up for their jobs.
She said they're aware of the shutdown and plan to get to the airport early Sunday for the flight home.
Hopeful that continues. Hard to say if it will, but today's experience was great.
Max says this weekend, TSA workers will get a final partial paycheck for hours worked until the shutdown. He doesn't know when the next one will come after that, and says many TSA agents live paycheck to paycheck.
I want to say that they're going to stick it out, but those that don't, I totally understand. You have to take care of yourself and your family.
Max says TSA workers are still at full staff at the airport, but during past government shutdowns, some officers stopped coming to work. TSA says they have not had any delays in operations due to callouts, but said an extended shutdown could mean longer wait times at airports. Jacumba, KPBS News.
Ballots have gone out for the special election on Proposition 50. To explain what it's all about, here's Public Matters reporter Jake Gatta.
Voters will decide if California gets a new congressional map ahead of the midterm elections. Governor Newsom said it's in response to Texas redrawing its map. Here's what it would mean in San Diego. If you live in East County, you're probably in California's 48th district, represented by Darrell Issa. He's one of the 5 Republicans Newsom's map targets. Newsom wants to flip Issa's district to Democrats. It'll do that by carving out big parts of the district and putting them in seats held by Democrats, then putting some parts of Democratic districts into the 48th, which means the balance of voters would change a lot. Right now, 42% of registered voters in the 48th district are Republicans, and 28% are Democrats. In the new map, only 29% would be Republicans and 39% would be Democrats. So if you used to live in Issa's district, you might find yourself in either Sarah Jacobs' 51st or Juan Vargas' 52nd next fall. Both of them are Democrats. Or you could end up in the 50th held by Democrat Scott Peters. The 50th would go from 42% Democrats and 26% Republicans to just 36% Democrats and 32% Republicans. Basically a toss-up. Because you can't just make voters disappear. If you take them out of one district, they'd have to go somewhere. Here's what Rep. Peters said about the challenge of reaching a new group of voters.
Look, I like the district I have. It's tremendous. I prefer not to change it. It's also, it's a little bit more democratic than the map that they've given me, which is what happens when gerrymandering happens. So, but I'm willing to be a team player, and I've represented Poway before. I could do it again.
It's way too early to make predictions for 2026, but based on where you live, your vote could decide who controls Congress for the next 2 years.
That was Jake Gotta reporting. The KPBS Voter Hub is being updated with information on the special election for Prop 50. It includes an interactive map that will show you how your district might change if Prop 50 passes. You can find a link to the Voter Hub on our homepage, kpbs.org. Access to youth sports and athletic fields in Jacumba Hot Springs has been a problem for years. KPBS reporter Elaine Alfaro spoke with community members about plans to open Jacumba's first soccer field.
If you want to play soccer in Jacumba, you have to settle on a dirt plot at the community park.
This isn't the typical place you would practice soccer if you're trying to achieve growth from the practices, And that's why we got to do this.
Danny Leone Sr. is a local parent who has lived in Jacumba for most of his life. His son, Danny Leone Jr., plays soccer and is no stranger to the bumps and bruises you get from playing at the park.
There's tons of rocks, but having that soccer field, no more rocks, giving you bloody arms and legs and stuff.
Well, for the U8 field, we propose putting it on the east side of the basketball court right over here.
The new field would be a smaller turf pitch meant for players under 8 years old. Eventually, they'd like to build a full-size field too. Leone Sr. and a local youth soccer coach are leading a community effort to create the town's first soccer field. Coach Jess Price said the practice space is desperately needed in Jacumba. Right now, players have to travel half an hour if they want to practice on a real soccer field.
I have 9 kids on my U8 team, and they're all from our community here. But we're all traveling to Pine Valley because that's the closest field we have.
Leone Sr. hopes that their actions are a lesson for the kids.
If you want something, you work for it.
Volunteers will begin installing the new field in the coming weeks. Elaine Alfaro, KPBS News.
Dia de Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a popular Mexican tradition devoted to celebrating the life and memories of the departed. KPBS is hosting a digital community ofrenda, or altar, where you can submit a memory celebrating a loved one who has passed away. You can share your memory at kpbs.org/Day of the Dead now through October 23rd. This weekend, there's a cultural celebration in Oceanside. Oaxaca de Mis Amores will showcase Oaxacan cuisine, dance, and artistic tradition. KPBS video journalist Carolyn Correllis spoke to the organizers.
Oaxaca de Mis Amores, the title comes from a song, and that song praises the beauty of Oaxaca in itself. So that's really what this cultural festival is about showcasing all of the beauty that Oaxaca has. What's unique about Oaxacan culture is that the Oaxacan state in itself has 8 different regions, and each region has its own identity, including food, dances, even in some cases languages. And that's really what the beauty of Oaxaca is, that you can go to different parts of Oaxaca and have a completely different experience. I am Gabriela Jimenez. I'm one of the co-founders of Oaxaca de Mis Amores. A lot of the indigenous practices are still alive and thriving to this day, so colonialism hasn't touched it as much as other places in Mexico.
Listening to the music and dancing with our baskets is the best thing. It's something different for me. It's like out there to represent from where I am. It's like it's a nice feeling. It's like I'm proud to be from there. It's the smells, like what you see. It's like for me, it's like when I go over there, it's like I'm home. I am Rosie Molano. I'm one of the leaders, the dance group of Calenda Valles Centrales. It's a native group. It's a tradition where we're from in Oaxaca, from Valles Centrales. It's called a Calenda. Our group, what the dance represents is like the starting of the fiesta, the main event, announcing like gonna be a big party, so like get ready. We usually dance with the bandas. We have like big monos, maybe over 6 feet tall, besides the size of the person carrying them, so they're like about 10 feet tall. We also have like a tiliche. It's a suit like made with rags. He's dancing all over the place. We have toritos, like the little toritos, so we go with those ones so they can get the attention. The girls with the baskets dressed like that is like, okay, we're here. The party's about to start. We usually throw candy. Once we do that, it's like, it's an invitation for the people to join us.
Our culture in itself is rooted in the concept of guelaguetza, which means that you help one another in difficult times and in times of festivities and times of happiness. It means that we support each other, and that has traced back thousands of years before even Mexico was Mexico. It's a beautiful thing that it's been able to survive, and we've definitely put a strong presence on passing down traditions from generation to generation. So you'll be able to see that on October 12th. We are so connected to our culture, so if one person moves to California, then more people will come. I believe the number is 300,000 Oaxacans live in California. This is the largest amount of Oaxacans outside of the state of Oaxaca than anywhere else in the world, and that is why California actually has the nickname of Oaxaca, California. To the people who are fortunate enough to have documentation, that's why it's even more important to have pride in your culture now, to be able to stand up and to speak out for those who can't, to give a voice to those who aren't able to. And that's why our culture is so important, because we are either immigrants or like our families have immigrated to this place. A lot of us call this place home. Our event is going to be taking place at the Junior Sea Amphitheater.
It's an open invitation for everyone if they can join us on October 12th. I think it's the first time it's going to be here in Oceanside, something like cultural like that from Oaxaca. It's an honor. Well, I feel so privileged to be from over there.
Oaxaca de mis Amores to me is about community, culture, art, and education. That we're still here, we're prideful to be here, and that Indigenous people are around you everywhere.
That story was produced by Carolyn Corellis. Oaxaca de mis Amores will take place this Sunday in Oceanside. The free event runs from noon until 7 in the evening at Junior Seau Amphitheater. We hope you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm John Carroll. Thank you for joining us.